Welcome to episode 4 of 100 Days of Code with Python. Today, for day 4, we have the topic of randomization and Python lists. Without further ado, let's just get into it. So for exercise 1, we are asked to make a virtual coin toss. Now this is where learning the random module helps us because we start out by importing it. Then we set a variable to a random number between 0 and 1 using the random.randint function. After that, all we have to do is use an if statement to check if the number is 0 or 1 and map whichever value we choose to heads and the other to tails. You can see that I chose 0 for heads. The second exercise, Banka Roulette, is code to randomly determine who pays for dinner from a group of friends. So we start with importing the random module. We already get an input of all the names separated by comma, and that then is converted to a list. We can pick a random index, which represents the names on the list by again using the random.randint function from 0 to the length of the list minus 1. And that's it. The value at the index will be a random name which can be printed out. Exercise 3 was pretty interesting. It was called treasure map. The goal is to pretty much mark the spot with X on the maps of squares you see. We already have the code where the square tiles are represented in a nested list. The first thing we need to do is grab the user input and separate out the row and column values. Then all you have to do is print out the values at the index of the row and column values, but converted to integer because input function only takes a string, and subtracted by 1 because at positions start at 0, not 1. Okay, I think that should be it. So 23. Boom. That was pretty actually decently easy. Let's try another one. 31. And this one looks like it's top right. Let's go. Okay. For our day 4 project, we made a rock, paper, scissors game. I won't go into detail with the code, but pretty much we need a bunch of if statements that check between the choices of the user and the choices of the computer. Each choice of rock, paper, or scissors is represented nicely with some ASCII art. And to make things easier, we're using the numbers 0, 1, and 2 to represent the choices, which then make it easier to once again use a random module to have the computer choose between rock, paper, and scissors. Okay, let's just run this, see what happens. So 0, you lose. Let's run it again. Let's do 0 again. You win because computer chose scissor. Let's do 0 again, see what happens. It's a tie because it's just the same thing. Okay, 1. Computer chose, it's a tie, both paper. 1. Computer chose scissor and I chose paper, so that's scissor wins, so I lose.
Yeah, so there you have it. Day 4, just to recap, we learned about randomization, we learned about lists, lists within lists. We made, for our final project, we made a rock, paper, scissors game. And while not quite as pretty of a code as the official solution was, we were able to get it working. So now we move on to day 5, and I'll see you guys in the next video.